Last time on Starter Kit.
Reese. She killed my family. She's that way. Elena's about to commit murder, and her halo is pitch black.
Well, that's awkward.
I feel like I want to get that coat.
Oh, I'm going to do the chain thing.
Reese falls off the cliff. You should be able to see the ship, but it's not there. Welcome back to Starter Kit. I'm John Wick, the creator of 7th Sea, and this is our 6th and final episode. We've reached the end of the story. Now, games like 7th Sea are storytelling games. They're designed to help the players and the GM tell a story. And sometimes stories jump ahead. Sometimes stories flash back. But when it reaches the end, it's about the end. So there's a tavern in Vodacce. It really doesn't have a name, but it's very, very old. It's 500 years old. It's been in the same family that entire time. And it's right on the docks of Mondavi. And in that tavern, there's a man that you would recognize. He called himself Mondavi, but he's really a Villanova, Antonio Villanova. And he's sitting at the table, and he has his feet, his booted feet up on the table. And he says, "That's when I stole the ship from them. I got myself loose from the chair. I overtook the crew. I threw that gangly sailor over the side, and
Henry.
that deformed thing down in the decks, he didn't stand a chance. Oh. And then I took their ship, and I sold it to the Adabaean Trading Company. And I made myself a small fortune." And the other Vodacce men are tapping the table and toasting his health and laughing at about how stupid Avalon sailors are and how super trusting and naive Castilian sailors are. And you really don't want to hear what they say about the people from the Adabaean Sea. And that's when a girl comes down and she holds his cheeks and then she says his name, Antonio Villanova. And his eyes get wide. And her fingertips clench into his cheeks. Antonio Villanova. And he starts to struggle in the chair. And he throws her off, and she lands on the ground, and she skids across the ground to another table of sailors. A table of 4 sailors, whose beards are a little bit longer than they were the last time we saw them, and whose hair is a little bit bedraggled and dyed from long, long days in the sun. And it took you a month to get here. You had to build a raft. Then you had to get out into the sea. Then you had to get picked up by another Brotherhood of the Coast ship. But you got here, and Elena pointed him out to you. And she reaches up and looks at you and says, Antonio Villanova. And the 4 of you sitting at the table.
Wow. That's a lot to process.
So you guys are in the tavern. You're wearing Reese's coat.
Yeah.
You have the device. Mm-hmm. You have the artifact. And you have your brute squad. And you guys are here. This is an action scene. So there's a villain in the scene. I'm going to roll dice for the villain. And you guys are going to roll dice for whatever your approach is. I know you guys know how to do approach by now.
Yep. And
this is your opportunity to do the biggest, baddest, most overly dramatic, nasty, coolest, most vicious, blood-curdling, bloodthirsty bar fight of all time.
All right, let's do it. Let's kick some ass.
So, you guys know what your approach is. You guys know what to do.
Yeah.
Do you want to spend hero points to help each other? As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do?
All sorts of things.
Your
like go all out.
Yeah, let's combine. Can we combine all of our?
Yes, you can. Yeah. I'm going to give everybody 1 hero point for the really intense scene we had in the last session.
Great.
And so I've got a brute squad. I've got a 10-point brute squad. I got my little notepad here, and I got my villain. What's your approach?
My approach is, I couldn't think of a better time to do Brawn and Brawl.
I can't think of a better time than that either.
I mean, even though that's kind of been my one note when I approached it, what could I do now?
What do you want to do?
I'm angry at this Antonio dude for many reasons. So 2 in brawn, and we're gonna try 1 in athletics so I can do fancy flips or something. I don't know. We'll see.
And I'm going to spend a hero point to help her.
So you're going to work together?
Yes.
All right.
Awesome.
So you get 3 bonus dice.
Oh yeah.
Captain?
Well, I noticed that I have an advantage called Sweeten the Pot, where I can spend some of the money that we've acquired over time. Can we, if folks are okay with it, I'd like to spend that money and acquire some additional rounds on me.
What
Let's
she
get
can
drunk
do
first.
is she can spend wealth to create raises.
Wow, okay.
Fancy.
So I'm going to give you 3 wealth.
Okay.
So you can spend 3 wealth to just give yourself, bang, 3 raises.
Okay. Can I allocate them out, or those?
Well, you're going to be rolling them all together.
We're together. Okay.
Also,
okay.
I want to
good.
give Benedict some help.
So you guys are fighting together.
Yes.
All right.
Lastly,
I'm using brawn, and I'm skipping scholarship this time for athletics.
okay.
And I want to spend a hero point for reunion to get all of our dice together.
All right, so yes, as you do that, you all get up from the table and you're all approaching Villanova, and him and his brute squad is approaching you, and it's the scene with the wide screen and the 2 groups, getting ready to fight. And as you do, Elena reaches over and she grabs your cheeks with her bloody hands, and she kisses you hard on the lips. And she says your name, your whole name.
Oh, wow.
And you, dun-dun-dun, get 4 bonus dice.
Oh, hell yeah. Cool. All right.
And you notice a small, because she has bloody fingers, you notice a small cut on her hand suddenly appears. All right.
Interesting.
So,
weird.
everybody ready?
Yes.
I'm going to roll my dice. You guys going to roll yours on the table like we did before?
Yeah.
Let's do it!
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Where did that one go?
That one went
I
crazy.
was ambitious with that roll.
Hang on, it was a 6.
Okay, let's start putting them together.
So,
Yeah.
as you guys count, here are the things about the tavern. It has chandeliers, big wooden chandeliers
hell yeah.
with candles on them. It's the whole tavern is made out of old wood, so it could catch on fire really easily. And remember, the tavern is owned by his family, and it's been in his family for 500 years.
Oh.
So there's liquor. There's liquor everywhere. So it's easy to grab liquor. There are tables, there are chairs, there are no ladders, but there are tables and chairs, and that's a wrestling joke that no one will get. And there's everything nautical here. So there's ropes, there's an old ship's wheel, there's a stairway that leads up to the top rooms, which means that there's a balcony that'd be really easy to jump off and grab the chandelier and swing. The chandeliers are held up by ropes, so you could cut the chandelier and go up to the top and drop things down. Everything you've ever seen in a pirate movie, everything you've ever seen in an Errol Flynn movie is here, and it's available for your use.
Great.
So, how many raises you got?
Got 12 raises and 2 leftovers.
I will buy your leftovers, and I will give each of you a hero point.
All right.
Okay.
So there you go. I have no idea how to
you.
do that with this kind of thing, so I'm just going to make it up on the spot.
Okay.
Hey, my name's on the book. I can do what I want. All right, so
Those are their dice.
well, these are your dice. There you go. All right, so you guys have the most raises. So what happens first?
Sorry, well, we gotta let's completely murder that man.
Yeah.
The man who stole our ship.
But remember, what was happening to Elena's heroic halo as she was trying to murder someone else. It started to turn dark. So maybe we want to be careful.
Yeah, so maybe
with that.
murder is the wrong approach.
Yeah, I think Benedict grabs the closest bar stool and just charges.
And just charges in.
Yeah, to
Okay.
just smash it over his head.
All right, spend a raise. How many raises do you want to spend?
I would like to spend...
Because remember, you have a brute squad, so we can kind of like add the brute squad into it.
Right, so I'm going to spend 2
Okay.
to make sure that we're real good here.
All right, so you charge in, you grab a bar chair, bar stool, whatever, and you charge in, smash it over Villanova's face. It goes into his face. You see teeth fly out of his mouth. Your guys jump into their guys, and the brawl is on. It is guys throwing each other, women throwing each other, people getting thrown over the bar, people getting thrown through the windows. It's on. So what's next? Let's just go around and do it this way. So what's next?
I am all about taking down Antonio. So I want to go and I want to stomp on his face. Just maybe not the best use for raise, but I'm really mad about him dishonoring my queen.
All right, so
I'm
because
just
you
gonna-
remember
Yes.
what he said about your queen.
Oh, of course I remember. So I'm just going to spend 1 raise.
Okay, so he gets knocked down by the chair, and he falls down right in front of you, and you just pick up your heel and shove it right in
I'm
his mouth.
spitting on him too, just for a little extra.
Good.
So you knock a few more teeth out of his mouth, out of his handsome mouth.
That's right, I do.
What do you want to do?
Oh, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna break both of his arms, and one for Long Tall Harry, and the other for Deaf Henry.
You can break his arms, but if you do, you're kind of committing an evil act.
Okay.
Because he's down. I mean, kicking him when he's down, that's okay, but kind of like breaking his arms and stuff. So you can do that. You can fully do that. However, you're going to get a corruption point.
Okay.
And you should know what that means because Elena was about to get one.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a little bit more creative here.
Okay.
I'm gonna use the magic hook from the coat, and I'm going to hang him by his foot by a chandelier, and then I'm gonna pull his pants down.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
So you'll be shamed in front of the whole bar, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's hanging upside down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have a word with him. I have something to tell him. Now, time has passed, and I've been able to recruit some of my Haraguan sisters. They've heard about some of his actions, and they're here, and I've summoned them, and they're all approaching him. And I tell him.
Hold on to that for 1 second. So what
Yes.
happens is through the window, about a dozen Haraguan women leap through the windows, and everyone's like, what? And they're in the fight now.
There we
And
go, yeah.
And they're fighting along, and they're doing all the stuff. And a couple of them, fight their way to help you fight your way over to the villain. And
What I tell him is that women are treated a certain way where you're from. Men like you are treated a certain way where I'm from.
Nice.
you see fear enter his eyes. What way is that?
Well, I'm trying to picture. You're already upside down. Your pants
His pants are off.
Yeah, when his pants
Yeah.
are off. We'll take everything that you own. Your ships, your crew, your wealth, anything that's important to you. It's no longer yours.
Well, I see. That's pretty awesome. Here, have a hero point.
Yay!
That's great.
Next. Oh, we have more raises. How do you guys now?
Right.
It kind of seems like the villain has been defeated.
They're outmatched at this
Is
point.
outmatched.
Very outmatched.
And that's when a whole bunch of new Vodacce men rush in because
Right.
it's the second round of the fight. So a whole bunch of new Vodacce men rush in, and they're trying to save Don Villanova. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say you have to spend 5 raises with these new guys to stop them from getting away with Don Villanova.
Okay.
So of the raises you have left, you have to spend 5. How many you have left?
We've got 9 left.
9?
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me how are you going to do, or are you going to do something else?
Here's what I'm going to do. So when I see the new guys show up, I am going to spend 5 races, but here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell the biggest brute squad guy that's next to me, throw me up to that chandelier. So he throws me up to the chandelier.
Whatever you say, boss.
Throws me up to the chandelier, and then with the force from him throwing me up, I swing around, and what do you know? My feet are exactly at the right height of all the new brutes that came in, and I knock them all out in a domino effect.
Oh, that's brilliant. And then at the end of it, the rope snaps, and you fall but land just gracefully on the ground.
Actually, I land on my feet.
That's right. Spend the raises.
Okay.
You have 4 raises left.
So that took care of most of those brutes?
That took care of most of the brutes. The villain is still hanging upside down,
Okay.
and you have threatened him. He has raises, and I have a danger point. So I'm going to say he becomes so threatened and so angry that he bends himself up, he pulls a knife out of his boot, he tries to cut the burning thing, but that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So instead he cuts the chandelier loose, and he falls and bang, he hits the ground. Ow! But because he's done that, he's now free, so he's gonna spend a raise to do that. And then he turns to you with a knife in his hand, and he's gonna attack you with the knife.
Can I jump in?
Do you want to?
Yes.
Oh, well, it's gonna happen to her, so
Okay.
what do you have that allows you to jump in?
do I have anything? I have quick reflexes, but that's hide.
That's hiding.
I have, my hubris.
What is your hubris?
Being stubborn.
Being stubborn? Nah.
No, okay.
So he takes the knife and he slashes you across the chest. You take 5 wounds.
Okay.
Oh, reset your wounds and lose 1 dramatic wound. Everybody reset your wounds and lose
I'm
1
back to
dramatic
1.
wound. Because we are in a new session, so
And
there
it's
you
been
go.
a month.
And it's been a month.
Right.
We've healed.
recovered.
And I have a danger point left. So I can kill someone. Who's you got 4 raises left.
Now I'm going after him. I just want to I want to get the knife out of his hands.
Okay.
And
You
pin
spend a
him
raise
down.
and get the knife out of his hands. So he goes in for another blow. You grab his wrist, twist it, and he lets go of the knife, and now it's in your hand.
Yes.
Okay. Next.
I want to take this guy out. Like I want him to be done for good.
But we can't kill him
But we
because
can't
that's
kill
against
him.
our code.
So
Heroes don't commit murder.
what if I were able to completely subdue him, like completely just tie him up or something, maybe use the magic hook to like wrap him up completely, and then we hand him over to our pirate.
The Brotherhood of the Coast?
Yeah, exactly, the Brotherhood of the Coast.
So you want to wrap him up with the
magic chain, yeah.
Costs a hero point to use.
All right, I'm using it.
Okay. So you flash the chain, it wraps around him. He's going to use a raise to say you tie him up, but he has one arm that's free.
Okay.
I have 3 raises left. You have 3 raises left. Villains go first. The hook is here. He grabs the hook and it burns his hand. He throws himself, and the hook he throws at your eye.
No.
And I'm spend a danger point, and the hook gashes your eye.
Oh no!
You get a cool patch, so it's fine.
You are a pirate.
As the thing is burning him. And then you like pull the chain to pull
Retract
him
the
away.
chain, yeah.
And the hook comes out, and her eye is just torn and awful and burned, and he falls to the ground. Got 3 raises left.
Oh, that took a turn.
Yeah, it certainly did.
So where is he now?
He's on the ground.
He's on the ground. Let's tie him up. Let's take him out of here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So cut to, he's all tied up. He's doubly tied up this time because apparently he was able to get out last time. You guys have conquered the tavern. You've conquered the brute squads, and there's another Brotherhood of the Coast ship that's here, and Villanova is being taken away in ropes. And as he passes you by, he says, "You have hurt me, and I have hurt you. This is not over."
Bye. No, I'm kidding.
That's great. And so they drag him away. And as they're dragging him away, he starts shouting, "Vendetta! Vendetta!" as they drag him away.
I really like that word.
Elena says, he doesn't know what that word means.
True.
I feel like he doesn't know what a lot of words mean.
The tavern is there, the 500-year-old tavern that's been in the Vodacce family for the Villanova family for 500 years.
You're burning that motherfucker to the ground.
Burning it down.
So how do you burn it down?
I am going to throw down the cheapest whiskey they have all over the place. Cheapest rum.
Cheapest rum.
I also like whiskey. I'm a well-traveled lady. But save some rum for ourselves. Light
good
it
rum.
on fire.
Right.
The good stuff.
We're walking out with bottles full
Yes,
of stuff. Yeah.
My one eye,
Every brute squad.
I will
Scary.
make sure we grab anything of value, make sure that it's safe to torch, and then we're gonna split.
So the scene cuts to the tavern in flames at night. So it's all dark and the orange and red flames of the tavern. And you're reminded of the very beginning of all of this when you came across that ship that was on fire. Except this time the wood is actually burning. And as you step away, you step over, you have Villanova's ship. You have the galleon, the big galleon with all those guns. And what do you want to do with it?
Use it to go find
The Black
the Black
Razor.
Razor.
He said he sold it to the Ataban Trading Company.
It looks like we're setting sail to the Ataban
We
Trading
gotta
Company.
get it back.
There's a lot of ways to get leads. And as you're getting the ship up, Elena's like helping with the sails. And you walk by her and she says, "Harry isn't dead."
Where is
What?
he?
No?
He's over there. And she points out to the sea.
We gotta get Harry.
We're going to get Harry.
Henry is there too.
What? We gotta get Harry and Henry.
And as all of that is going on, everybody, we got to go get all these people. And the ship sets sail towards the sunset as you sail away. And as you start playing a song, and one of the sailors is there, and it's a new, you guys got a new crew, and it's a brand new crew that you recruited for the ship. And he sits down next to you, and he goes, "Nice coat.
Thanks, man.
Did Upman give it to you?"
I don't know who Upman is.
Let me tell you. And that's the end. So.
But who is Upman?
Upman?
So, did you guys all have fun?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, I want each of you to tell me something that happened during the game that you thought was like a moment for you, like the moment where you're like, oh wow, this is it. What is the moment for you?
For me, the moment was at the party when we had to make the decision of, our captain has a magical chain around her neck. Every time Reese pulls on it, she loses another 5. She gets another 5 wounds.
Yeah.
And I think we talked at one point about how you like to put people in difficult situations. And I was like, that felt like the only option for us was to give up the artifact, which I know was something we were desperately trying to hold on to, but I felt like the life of the captain was more important and that we could always get it back.
And you could have fought.
Right.
But the captain's life.
In my mind, I'm thinking, 1,000-year-old sorceress, bleeds black blood. This is not going to go well. Let's try to bargain our way out of this.
Cool. That's awesome. What was your like big thing that made you gasp or catch your breath or anything like that? What was the moment you were like, oh wow, this is for real, right?
So many moments. But I think by the time we all got up to the building where Reese was hiding and the intensity of that fight and seeing how dark Elena got, literally, to me at least, and pulling her back from that and stopping it, even though I really would have been okay with Reese dying, I feel like that was a good hero moment, that we saved her not only from, death in the ocean, we pulled her out, but we saved her from going completely evil.
Yeah, it was the choice of Elena becoming a villain or saving Reese.
Yeah, and now she gets to be like cute happy girl running around tying knots.
About knots.
Yeah,
learning about
She's
knots.
like gonna be first mate, captain in no time. Not of our ship, you're good. A different ship.
Right.
Maybe she could be the captain of the ship we got from Antonio.
Right. Free ship.
Yeah. Someday.
Yeah.
Someday.
So Steve, what was the moment for you that you're going to carry away from this and say, wow, that I need to tell people about this?
Well, I really liked the moment when we all came together and combined our dice and our points and our powers together. It felt like it was the Avengers moment.
Yeah, it was making Voltron.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. We made Voltron and we all fought together. I found that to be the most. That's the takeaway moment for me, because it was like we all have our own special skills and stuff, but when we combined them to fight Antonio for the first time, I think we did a really great job.
Yeah, is that moment of the camera circling around the Avengers?
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Yeah.
Awesome. Straight up, what was it for you?
2 things mainly. The first is that we build history together. Like, we're this team that over sessions, we are able to just continue to connect, and then our decisions are based on previous things. So I wasn't going to give you up because we had history there where he had sacrificed himself for me. So if we didn't have that relationship in a previous session, that would have been maybe an easier decision.
Yeah.
So all of the elements and the scenarios you introduce are really dependent on all of these different relatable relational factors that I think kind of develop over time. And then similarly, I got used to, as a very new RPG person, I got used to becoming more kind of open to trying out some other things, like my advantages or my virtue. And similarly, as a team, we grew over time to build those just kind of the skill to know how we can work together. And I think we got better.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Sure.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you became a crew as the story went on. And so now you like know each other's weaknesses, you know, hey, it's time to make Voltron, you know, and all the other things, right? And that was really cool. For me, that was really cool watching you guys learn how the game worked. Like, because there's like that first level of, okay, this is how I roll dice and this is how I put things together. But then you're like, hey, I'm spending my hero point. And you're like, yeah, I didn't need to tell you. You're like, I'm spending my hero point and everybody rolling together and doing the thing. And you using your virtue to turn the villain points, danger points off.
Right, yeah.
Right, and that was really fun for me, not only as a GM and someone, you know, for the mechanics, but watching you start to work together in this really neat way. It was really exciting for me. It was the part that I liked the most.
I just want to know what would have happened to Romero if they had sold him to Reese.
I feel like it could have been fun for a little while.
Yeah. It might have been fun for a little.
There's a small chance that we'll get slash fic out of that.
I really hope so. I'd like to read that, yeah.
Awesome. So lastly, for those of you who have played role-playing games before, I'm going to ask this question, and then I have a question for what was it about the game that challenged you as a gamer and challenged your preconceptions of it? Because there's a lot of preconceptions in gaming when you play a role-playing game, and this game kind of throws a lot of them out the door. So what was something that you looked at and went, oh, wait a minute, I can do this that I can't do, you know, in other role-playing games?
The free form of it, the ability to describe a scene, and if you have enough phrases that, unless it's something completely unrealistic, the GM can just let you roll with it.
Yeah.
So to speak. Really just the ability to sort of pass the story on to the player. Whereas with a lot of other systems, there's a lot more rules and there's a lot more sort of regimented things that you can and can't do. Whereas a lot of games, the GM is the storyteller and he's telling us the story. And we're characters in the story, but it's the GM's story. But where with this game, we're all the storytellers together.
So is that something that you feel comfortable bringing into other games, like trying to implement that in different games?
Depending on who the GM is and depending on...
It's always about who the...
Yeah, because every GM has their own quirks.
Yeah, cool. And what was something that you found out?
You know, mine's very similarly like tied to that because we could use our raises to say this happens. I feel like even though you're always going to go on tangents, that's just a thing. But I think that saves time because instead of trying to, okay, well let me roll for this skill, did that help? Nope. How about this one instead? Like to get a specific answer.
Yeah.
You can sometimes use a raise and say, oh, this is the answer, which is kind of a challenge too, because maybe you're not, you know, you have to think on your feet a little more, but I liked that and having kind of that opportunity to get into the story. It's a little intimidating at first.
Yeah, it is, because you're
I'm like, wait, I have power? Like what?
Yeah.
I can do it. It's not how, so that was fun, and I think it cut down on some of the meandering that can happen in other adventures.
What was it? Was something new that you encountered and like, whoa, what is that?
Mine's very similar. Just kind of the being able to use your points to kind of just go like, no, this is what happens. This is the truth of this next moment.
It's the GM trusting you to go, what happens next?
Yeah,
and you say this, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, let's go there. Let's find out.
I'm very used to the GM saying like, I don't know about that. Like let's not go there. Like, well, that's not what I had planned. But it's like in this game, we could really just kind of go like, we could turn the tables a little bit and say like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, one of the skills I learned from improv was of course the yes and, yes but, and everything. And one of the things that you did was I want to do the machine with Elena, and I was like, yes, but.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't a no, it was a, okay, we can, and it was also a way to like unify everybody, and we had that moment where everybody kind of saw something that was going to happen to them, right? And so that created that moment, and that's why I said, yes, and this.
And then activating the artifact, you know, was a helpful thing, and it worked in that moment too. I thought that was great.
So this is your first RPG?
Yes, technically, yeah.
What is something that surprised you or took you off guard, or?
I think because it's such an open world, there's some hesitation about, so how do we really follow a narrative? Like, how does this all work if anything goes? So with learning more about some of those limitations that, you know, with our different abilities to buy into things or things get taken away from us, then that creates these sort of like nice boundaries for us to be able to move forward and have this like meaningful story together. But I have to admit that openness kind of created a little bit of anxiety for me about if I'm not guarded and careful, I don't know what threats are that they're out
And that
there.
was certainly part of the first part of the game,
Right.
is that everybody
Right.
kind of felt, oh, can I do this?
There's a ship on fire. Let's
can
avoid
sail
that
on
ship.
by.
No, Mr. GM, I am not interested in your plot.
We see what you're doing, and we're not buying it.
I'm just gonna sail around it.
Man, there's so many things.
I
The
know the
cut on her hand at the end, the final kiss.
So, what's the most awesome thing you had planned, but that we totally skipped over because of the decisions that we made?
Well, you almost missed the artifact.
That's true.
Oh.
And I had to have Harry go get it for you.
Oh, because
right. Because we didn't want to go over.
Yeah, and that's why he jumped for it.
Yeah, that's why he
Yeah.
jumped for it. Now, I had a whole bunch of plans for you to find the artifact. You could have found it somewhere else and all that other stuff. So you almost missed the artifact. But the thing that you missed was something that I actually hid from you. I dropped notes about it, I dropped clues about it, and of course it's the coat. And the coat is that's a nice coat. It is a code phrase. It's a code phrase for one of the secret societies in 7th Sea, known as the Rulebooks, or the Free Thinkers. And they have a goal of bringing down all monarchies and all the church and the patriarchy of Vodacce, casting down all powers. They're about smashing the statues. And the passphrase is, that's a nice coat. And the way to reply is, Upman gave it to me. Oh. So that's the secret. And it is a secret society in 7th Sea. And when you started playing your character, I went, you've got to be a part of the Rulebooks.
Oh, there
your character
it is.
has to be a part of the Rulebooks. So I dropped that hint, and then, if we do it again, they'll show up.
Wow, very cool. I'm into that.
Awesome. That is the 6th and last episode of 7th Sea Starter Kit. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned not just about 7th Sea, but a lot of the GM techniques and a lot of the player dynamics that were going on during the game. It was one of my goals, was not just to teach 7th Sea, but to introduce a whole bunch of different kinds of techniques that the GM can use to heighten the game level a little bit and raise the tension in a few places. So I hope you learned something, and if you did, that's good, and we'll see you next time on Starter Kit.